Continuing with the Shirei Hama'alot, the Song of the Ascents. Yesterday in 130, well-known chapter about somebody who is Mimama Kim, who's in the depths, but has belief, full knowledge that God is going to come and redeem him and redeem all of Israel. And today, let's see where we have 131, Shir Hamalot LeDavid. Adonai lo gava libi velo ramu einai velo hilachti bigdolot uveniflaot mimeni. A song of ascents, a song of the steps of David. Oh God, my heart is not proud, nor my look haughty. I do not aspire to great things. I'm a regular guy. And now if this is authored by David, doesn't necessarily fully encapsulate the image of David that we have in Scripture. He's certainly humble when it comes to God. He certainly is always very much with God. It's hard at times, of course. Power gets to your head, and then David at times, is guilty of that with the Bathsheba affair, of course. But right, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not trying to be too haughty. Imlo shiviti vidomamti nafshi kigamul alei imo kagamul alai nafshi. But I've taught myself to be content, like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, I am in my mind. So what is he saying? Right? I know that I have everything. And I know that I can be at times haughty and at times thinking great things. But sometimes in life, we just need the simple things. We just need that connection with our parent. We just need the milk from our mother. That's what I want to go back to. Going back to the basics of life. Enough with the grandiose plans, enough with the great arrogance, enough with the great sense and the great idea that, I am so important and everything is so significant. That's not who I want to be. In some ways, if this is an admission, if somebody says, I'm not too haughty, my heart's not too proud, that means they're probably pretty haughty, they're probably pretty arrogant, right? You don't say that unless you have a certain sense of arrogance. But this is an attempt to move away from that arrogance, to move back to simple things in life, to go back to the stuff like that. And in a very, very short psalm, Yachel Yisrael Adonai me'ata v'ad olam. O Israel, wait for God now and forever. Troubling verse. Obviously, in some ways, we can see it as a continuation of the chapter that preceded it, which ended Yachel Yisrael El Hashem Kiyam Hashem HaChesed v'Harbei Imo Gedut. That it's very much a continuation of that chapter. And here too, it's almost as if the way that I understand this chapter is I'm a person who is suffering, mimama kim, like the last chapter. But in my suffering, what am I asking for? I can ask for something simple. I can ask for something great. And sometimes we ask for something great. And what's being said here is, don't ask for something great sometimes. Sometimes you just need the basics. Sometimes you just need the simple things. We just need a little bit. So we can look at it a couple of different ways. This is a very, very short chapter, but it's a chapter that how do we understand it? Is it the life of David? Is it during the time when he was run away from his home and he's just saying, God, I'm not asking necessarily to be returned to my kingdom. I'm not asking for all the glory. I'm just asking for the basics to be restored. Yachel Yisrael Hashem. That's what I'm getting at, is one way of understanding. Understanding is the Jewish people during a time of difficulty, for a time of horror. We're not asking God to return us with all the miracles that have been described. We're just asking God, just make things basic. Just give us the simple sort of messianic vision. There's two ideas, sort of two strains of tradition in terms of the Messiah. One is the messianic age where pigs fly and all the miraculous stuff, and the other is the elderly couple sitting content, in their field, under their next to their vineyard and under their fig tree, and seeing their children and their grandchildren and their great grandchildren, and just sitting there and being content. And I'm living a long life, and I'm not being attacked Cossacks in Eastern Europe, or by fundamentalist Muslims in Israel, or whatever it might be. And that's what this chapter is. This chapter is that second vision. It's that vision. God, we're just asking for simple things. We're not asking for too much. And that's that's a vision here in so many of these psalms and so many of the requests where there's so much difficulty, and I want things and I want to go back, and so many of the promises of geula, of redemption to the Jewish people who are suffering so terribly have to be very, very grand and very grandiose, right? If you're trying to be mitchazek, if you're trying to keep people whose faith is waning and who are suffering, a lot of what you need to say is really grandiose stuff, because you want, yes, I know you're suffering, but look what's going to happen to us. This chapter is saying, God, I don't need that stuff. I don't need the grandiose stuff. I don't need the great stuff. I'm just asking for, I'm asking for simplicity. I'm asking for some peace. I'm asking us to no longer live a life like that. And that's what's being expressed, I believe, at least the way that I understand this chapter, by the Mishorer. Yes, these are Shirei Ma'alot, and Ma'alot, you're going up, you're elevating, you're the steps in the Beit HaMikdash. There's a lot of grandioseness to it. There's a lot of greatness to it. There is a lot of belief in a future redemption, where the prophets, Yeshaya talks about, we're no longer going to talk about God is the one who took us out of Egypt, because that's going to be nothing compared to the future redemption. This is saying, I have faith in God, and all I'm asking you, God, is for the simple things, for the small things. And even that, I will be super content. I will be back at home like a child with their mother, and more to ask for than that is really unnecessary.